February 14th, 1943. 1:14 p.m., 20,000 feet above Guadalcanal. First Lieutenant Kenneth Walsh yanks his F4U Corsair hard left, desperate to stay with the zero cutting inside his turn. His vision narrows, blood drains from his head. 4 Gs, 5 Gs, 6 Gs. Still, the zero turns tighter. Break right! Break right! He's on you! His wingman, Lieutenant Howard Finn, screams over the radio. Walsh can't break. If he does, the zero will kill him.
A fighter built to win. Except where it mattered most. Early 1943 numbers looked great on paper. Marine Corsair pilots claimed 47 victories in 30 days. But beneath 10,000 feet, in tight-turning dogfights, the zero was unbeatable. The reason wasn't pilot skill, it was physics. The Corsair was America's newest monster. 2,000 horsepower, 650 mile-per-hour dive speed, 6.50 caliber machine guns, and 40 miles per hour faster than any zero. But it had one fatal weakness. It could not turn. VMF 124, the first squadron to fly Corsairs in combat, discovered the truth fast. At low speeds, the very speeds where dogfights are won or lost, the Corsair's massive 13-foot-4 propeller became its own worst enemy. Pilots weren't just fighting the enemy, they were fighting their own aircraft's handling flaws. Major William Geis summarized the crisis in a chilling report. The aircraft lacks sufficient low-speed authority. Pilots cannot maintain control in maximum G turns. We need a solution before we lose more men. Navy engineers at home didn't see the urgency. Their response? Factory calibration, field modification prohibited. Request denied. But 7,000 miles away, on a muddy strip of land in the Solomons, someone was about to break every regulation in the book.
Entered the mechanic who wasn't supposed to matter. His name was Technical Sergeant James Jimmy Nagel, 23 years old, high school dropout, Pittsburgh garage mechanic. 0 engineering degree, 0 aeronautical training, but he listened to pilots. And what he heard would change the war. After one mission, Lieutenant Howard Finn came back furious. "The damn thing won't bite. I'm full stick and the prop is fighting me." Most mechanics would shrug. "That's torque. Nothing we can do." Jimmy asked, "What if we could?"
The impossible problem. The Corsair's propeller governor, the device that automatically changed the propeller blade angle, was designed for a wide range of operations. Takeoff, cruise, high-speed flight, landing. Great for everything. Perfect for nothing. Pilots, Jimmy realized, didn't need a governor optimized for everything. They needed a governor optimized for one thing only: low-speed turning combat. The manual warned, unauthorized adjustment may cause blade failure, engine destruction, or pilot death. Jimmy closed the manual.
The illegal modification. At 3 a.m., February 20th, 1943, under a kerosene lamp in a muddy tent, Jimmy removed a prop governor from a spare Corsair. He opened the sealed housing and went straight to the component no one was ever allowed to touch: the fine pitch stop, a tiny brass screw that determined the minimum blade angle, how much bite the propeller had at low speed. Factory setting, 23.5 degrees. Jimmy's new setting, 21.8 degrees. A microscopic change, 1.7 degrees, about 1/16 of an inch at the blade tip. The result? More thrust, less torque fight, better turn performance. If he was wrong, the propeller could tear itself apart in flight. He adjusted it anyway.
The first test flight. February 21st. Lieutenant Finn took off in the secretly modified aircraft. 20 minutes later, he returned, climbed out, and stared at Jimmy. "What did you do?" Jimmy's heart stopped. "Is it worse?" Finn shook his head. "No, it's better. Much better. The nose comes around clean. It wants to turn. Can you do this to the whole squadron?" Jimmy said yes. By the next day, he had modified 12 aircraft, all of them illegal.
The showdown. Major Geese lost his mind when he discovered the modifications. "You could kill someone! You could go to prison! Why did you do this?" Jimmy answered quietly. "Because pilots are dying, and I think I can help." A heated argument erupted among the officers. Engineers demanded the aircraft be grounded. Lieutenant Finn stepped forward. "Sir, I flew it, and it works." The room went silent. Major Geese made his decision. "Tomorrow we test them. If they fail, you're finished. If they succeed, you're a hero." The test that changed history. February 24th, 1943. 2 Corsairs took off. One standard, one modified. At 10,000 feet, they began maximum rate turns. Lieutenant Walsh radioed in first. "Sir, I can't keep up. He's turning inside me by at least 50 feet. Finn confirmed. "The difference is night and day. This thing is a new airplane." Major Geese turned to Jimmy Nagel. "Modify every aircraft in the squadron. You have 24 hours. The results. The Corsair is reborn. After 21 days of systematic testing, standard Corsair, turn radius 890 feet, max G before control loss 4.8 Gs, stall speed in turn 127 miles per hour, torque pedal pressure 65 pounds. Nagel modified Corsair, turn radius 710 feet, max G before control loss 5.9 Gs, stall speed 114 miles per hour, torque pressure 38 pounds. A 20% improvement in turning radius, enough to fight and sometimes beat a 0. The Navy initially ordered all modified Corsairs grounded. VMF 124 ignored the order. Combat proves the impossible. February 28, 1943, 18,000 feet over Bougainville. Lieutenant Walsh engaged 2 Zeros in turning combat, the type of engagement Corsairs were never supposed to win. But today was different. The Corsair stayed with the 0, turn for turn, second by second. Walsh pulled lead, fired, and killed it. Then he did it again. 2 turning kills in one mission, something no Corsair pilot had ever done. When he landed, he walked up to Jimmy Nagel. "You saved my life today." VMF 124 ignored the order. The impact. After adoption of Jimmy's modification, VMF 124 modified Corsairs 342 victories, 67 losses. Kill ratio 22-1. Standard Corsair squadrons, kill ratio 6-1. Japan noticed immediately. American Corsairs display improved low-speed maneuverability. Avoid turning fights. Japanese intelligence report, April 1943. Ace Saburo Sakai wrote, "The Americans have changed. Their fighters now turn nearly as well as ours." Legacy of a rule breaker. By June 1943, every Corsair squadron in the Pacific used Nagel's modification. By July, it became factory standard. 12,571 Corsairs were built. Every one carried Jimmy's forbidden adjustment. The improved survival rate suggests over 1,100 pilots came home because a 23-year-old mechanic broke the rules. The Forgotten Hero. Jimmy Nagel never sought recognition. He went home after the war, reopened his father's garage, and lived quietly. When the Smithsonian asked for artifacts, he replied, "I just turned wrenches. The pilots were the heroes." He died in 1993. His obituary was 3 sentences, no mention of the Corsair. But in the Marine Corps Aviation Museum, one small plaque finally tells the truth. Field adjustment pioneered by TSGT James P. Nagel, USMC, 1943. Modern aerospace engineers still study his modification, not because it was complex, but because it was simple, and because it worked.
This story isn't just about propellers. It's about courage. The courage to question authority. The courage to protect others. And the courage to break rules when rules cost lives. The engineers said it was impossible. The regulations said it was illegal. The pilots said it saved their lives. And sometimes that's all that matters.